Yo, what's up guys? Chase the Bro here, and welcome back to another Dark Souls 3 build video. Today I'm going to be showcasing my build that is centered entirely around the Sunlight Straightsword. Oh, and how powerful the Sunlight Straightsword has become. Ever since patch 1.13, infusions and scalings have gotten buffed, and this sword now does an insane amount of damage. With the regular version of the build I'm currently using, I get around 820 AR. That's insane. Just think about that for a second. It's a straight sword with 820 AR. That means each hit I'm landing is doing between 400 and 450 damage. Now, I've always found straight swords to be the strongest tier of weapon just because they're so fast and you can connect attacks so easily. The only allure of ultra great swords and heavy weapons is the hyper armor you receive and the fact that each attack you land does more damage. But a straight sword that can do over 800 AR, yeah, that outclasses most weapons by far. Every enemy I faced has died in roughly 4 hits, especially when I land the R1, R1, R2 combo. It's crazy. But I mean, it's not invincible, it's a straight sword, so you're pretty susceptible to parries. And if you're facing anybody that has amazing hyper armor, like the Leto's Great Hammer, then I could get taken out in possibly a few hits as well. The only real difference is the fact that a straight sword is so fast and can combo so well, so it has a little bit of an advantage. This build setup is just so powerful. It doesn't matter what you're doing, if you're invading or if you're dueling, you're going to have the advantage no matter what. But in 1v1 duels, I actually haven't lost with this build yet. I kill every phantom in 3 hits just because you're unembered health, right? So you only have so much health, especially in the PvP arenas where you can't be embered. And after you've mastered the R1, R1, R2 roll catch, you're going to have no trouble at all. You're literally going to mow through every opponent. Now, this was just the regular version of the build. For those of you who like playing with a higher risk and more reward, you can make a hyper mode of this build, and the damage, like it says in my thumbnail, reaches 1250. Is that not, like, unimaginable? A straight sword with 1250 AR. So I'm going to take you over and show you exactly what I use to do that. Alright guys, so to do the hyper mode, you need to be in the red Tearstone critical health range, and then you buff with the Dark Moonblade, followed by the Oath of Sunlight buff with the Sunlight Straightsword, and then finally you just use the Dragon Torso Stone to buff your AR even further, and then you have yourself the 1259 AR Straightsword. Now that we got that figured out, we're going to go test this out on some enemies. So whenever you're fighting a phantom, it's pretty much guaranteed that you're going to take them out in 2 hits because each swing does roughly 600 damage. Depending on the host's damage absorption as well as his health pool, you could take them out in 2 hits as well, but most of the time it's going to be 3. Which usually isn't a problem because you have your R1, R1, R2 combo, and phantoms are just nothing for you. Alright guys, now I'm going to show you the stats for the build. Now just keep in mind that there's 2 versions of the build. There's the regular version, which is this one, and then there's the hyper mode version, which is the other one. So if you just plan on using this build for invasions and regular PvP, then you're going to want to go with the standard build, which is a 37-37 strength dex build. Ideally 40-40 would have been better, but I wanted to have a decent health pool, so I had to sacrifice some points there as well. And the same goes for faith. I would have liked to have 60 faith, but in order to keep my level at 120, I had to sacrifice points there as well. So it's 55 faith, 37-37 quality build, and the rest of the points are just displaced between vigor and endurance. I'd also like to add that I'm wearing the prisoner's chain, so I really only have 15 endurance and 25 vigor and 11 vitality. But I thought that having a small stamina pool is fine considering the fact that I'm using a straight sword. So it doesn't consume a lot of stamina, and I can deal with a 30 health pool. Also, really quick, I just want to show you exactly how much AR you're doing when you do the Dark Moonblade buff and the Oath of Sunlight on the regular build. You get an AR of 820. So there you go guys, AR of 820 when buffed. So that's pretty much it for the stats guys, but I'm moving on over to the equipment now. So obviously I'm using the Sunlight Straightsword because that is the entire purpose of the build. As you can see, it scales well with strength, dex, and faith, so that's why it's a quality faith build. And I keep a simple Casis offhand just so it can rebuild my mana slowly as I'm fighting, just in case the fight drags on long enough and then I can buff again. And I'm using the Orska's Chime because it has the highest spell buff, which is what I need to have the highest AR. As for the armor, I'm wearing the Ring Knight set with the Firelink Helm. It gives me decent damage absorption, and I'm wearing the Magic Clutch Ring to increase my magic attack. I'm wearing the Chlorantha Ring +3 because I have a tiny stamina pool and I would like it to rebuild as fast as it can. I'm wearing the Ring of Favor +3, Well, you guys know why it's the best ring. And I'm wearing the prisoner's chain because I'm lacking in health and endurance. And that's pretty much it for the regular build, guys. So I'm going to take you on over to my hyper mode build for this sword. Alright guys, now to talk about the hyper mode build. So the only key difference between this build and the regular version of it is that I took all the points out of vigor, seeing as you need to be in critical health range so it doesn't matter, and I poured them into strength, dex, and faith, giving me a total of 40 strength and 40 dex and 60 faith, which is ideal. Now, as for the equipment build setup, it's pretty much all the same. The only difference is that you're not wearing any armor because you're going to be in dragon mode, and you switch the Chloranthy ring for the red tear stone ring. And that's pretty much it, guys. The build is pretty identical other than that. But yeah, isn't that crazy, guys? 1300 AR for a damn straight sword. So crazy. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you're just tuning in now, subscribe for some more Dark Souls 3 content. I upload daily or every second day. And if you guys enjoyed the video, like the video. It helps my channel out a lot. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. Chase the bro out.